Good afternoon, lovely souls of the world. Welcome to our channel. This is Lunar Goddess Tarot, and I specialize in divine counterparts and divine connections. I am also a medium. I'm an empath. I'm a highly sensitive person. I'm a star seed, a twin flame myself, and I am clairvoyant. And so my readings have an intuitive edge, and my readings tell a story. I'm a storyteller by trade. That is my art. And I hope you will dive in and tune in for this reading. I wanted to make sure that I got at least one more reading in before I leave on Wednesday. I'll try to get in another reading or two for you guys, but I can't make any promises. As you guys are well aware, the 3D world is very busy right now. I do not like the term busy, but I cannot think of another term. It's just very active. And so just wanted to be very transparent about that. I love you guys. Thank you for all of your support here on the channel, over on Patreon. Please know that I have a lot of exciting things in the works for you that are coming up this summer. I'm going to be delivering something very special in a different kind of a medium coming up soon here. I will be releasing more details as it comes. What I wanted to do first is thank my sponsor, Premium Jane. Premium Jane is a CBD company based in the USA, and their products are very pure, very potent at the same time, potent and pure, and deliver a great punch. And in fact, the flavor is so mild, and that's one of the things I really love about Premium Jane. So this is their citrus flavored CBD oil. This is a 600 milligrams. They have lots of other products. They have bath bombs. They have CBD capsules. If you don't like the taste, you're traveling, you just need a capsule you can pop, throw it in your mouth, take it back with a glass of water. They also have different flavored oils. They have natural flavor. They have a mint flavor. They also have CBD gummies in different flavors. I tried their lime gummies. They're all out. That's why they're not here, because I've eaten them all. And I have had a great experience with all of their products. The gummies are vegan and gluten-free for those of you with intolerances or different food sensitivities or diets. And Premium Jane is just very transparent. So if there's a product and you're wondering, okay, what is the actual transparency of this? What are the actual ingredients? You can go to that page on their website and you can see they will have a third-party checklist and a third-party checklist that will tell you exactly what the tests have been for that particular product. So you'll be able to know that it's clean, it's vetted, and you're doing your system a really good a good deed, a good thing. So for those of you interested in CBD oil, again, I highly recommend Premium Jane. I recommend you check them out and maybe buy a few different products. If you use Sarah, the code Sarah, SARAH, I'm going to give you a link below. You will get 20% off of your entire order. No matter what you're choosing. So that's definitely something to consider. So use my code for sure, and let me know what you guys think. Take care, and let's get started on the reading. So today what we have going on is we are in between eclipses. So what that means is the energies are a little volatile, a little unstable. So there's some instability, there's still some fear, but the fear is lessening in the collective, I feel. More so what's coming up is some confusion. Confusion is replacing the fear as we head towards the solar eclipse in Gemini. New moon solar eclipse in the sign of Gemini. Mercury has now moved retro. Pluto is retrograde. Saturn is moving retrograde, or has moved retrograde, I believe, as well. Yes. We have a new month tomorrow, June 1st. We're headed into, summer solstice. I mean, we have tons of planetary changes and planetary shifts that are affecting us. And in addition to the Schumann resonance, which has been off the charts since I think the end of April. So a lot of us have been trying to restabilize and sort of reorganize. And our 3D worlds have been very intense and very stressful. And so I want to let you guys know that there is relief upcoming. And I encourage the divine feminines right now. I've been encouraging you, and I've been working with a lot of you in my private readings. All of your private readings are now completed for the month of May, by the way. So I will be offering readings after I get back. I'll be back on Monday for private readings. So if you're wanting a private reading, please reach out to me. The email is listed below, and we can get you on the books. It's as always, first come, first serve basis for that month. Once I book up for that month, I do not open any more slots until the following month. That's just my system right now. Could change at some point in the future, but for now, that's what we're working with. So I offer many more readings than just a twin flame reading. And in fact, I'm really encouraging the divine feminine. Part of my mission is to empower you and encourage you to step outside this sort of twin flame dynamic, and to really step inside yourself and to follow the calling of your own heart and soul. So my readings are probably a lot different than other people's, because my mission is to help the feminines detach and surrender versus checking in on their counterpart. It's okay to check in on your counterpart, even once a month, but just understand that the work that's really being done here is the work that's happening inside internally. Your twin flame is you, your divine counterpart is you, and you are them. So working on detaching from the labels right now is something we're doing as a collective, and let's go ahead and get started. All right, I'm going to start with the Magic of You Oracle, because I would like to find out what is going on with the counterparts, and primarily I would like to find out what is going on with the DF. Divine Feminine, you're being instructed to have more fun. This is a shadow deck. We have the shadow and light deck here. The lights here is the light deck. Keepers of the light. So a lot of light decks, but this is definitely more of a shadow deck, which I think is important to balance out the light. Right? We need shadow and light. We can't have one without the other. So what are the counterparts working on at this time? Opulence, it's time to lead, and vertigo. Whatever you choose will be correct. Okay, so what I'm feeling with these energies is the counterparts are taking charge and taking control of their own lives. There's been a real theme in the private readings that I've been doing over the past week to focus on your life. Turn the focus back inward, back internally. And I think that's really important for both counterparts to treasure the light that's growing inside of them instead of looking for the light in your counterpart. So what's happening right now on a very practical level and energetic level also with the divine masculines is that they have pulled away to find themselves. And I know that's like an overused phrase and term. It's cheesy. What do you mean find themselves or finding themselves? You don't have to find yourself. You already are here. You are yourself. There is no destination. I get that. It's just a phrase. Take it how you will. Shape it to make it fit your narrative and your story and your healing work. But understand that the masculines, many of them, the first wavers, have turned away entirely from the connection and from the divine feminine. They cannot rely on your light. They were attracted to your light like a moth to a flame in the beginning. And then you showed them their shadows, and they potentially blamed you. Many of them did blame the feminine for basically causing their life to fall apart. After they met the feminine, everything fell apart. But in actuality, everything was falling together. But it looked to them like things were actually falling apart. So it was very challenging for the masculines to separate what was happening from, not separate, but for them to understand that what was happening, it wasn't happening to them, it was happening for them. And that you were a part of their awakening and their growth. And you were this amazing, powerful catalyst for change in their lives. You were the part of the agent of change in their lives. You come in like a tornado and they come in like a tornado. But for many feminines, you had a karmic soulmate come in like a tornado before the twin flame. So it was different for the feminines because you had already had many dark nights of the soul, many ego deaths. You had already begun rewriting your story, and the masculines are just now starting to rewrite their story. Okay, so they're starting this new chapter, and they need the time and the space to truly find themselves and to figure out who they are, what makes them tick, what do they like, what do they not like. I mean, these are basics, but they're really important for the masculine. So both counterparts are, you know, being asked to lead at this time in their own lives. And again, for the first waivers that I'm working with, my clients and for myself as well, you will find that your masculine is likely silent at this time. So there's a great wisdom in just accepting the flow of life. And that's a major theme going on right now for the collective. And it's come up in every single private reading that I've done. One of the private readings that I'm offering that I really, really highly suggest that you guys delve into is I'm bringing back the North Node reading. It was written in the stars because that's just, it's all about you. It's all about your destined path. It's an amazing reading and I really enjoy doing it. And I'm also offering an animal spirit. It's a power animal spread, and that is really, really fun for me to do. It's an activator, an agent of change for you because you understand which animals have been walking with you since birth and which animals are walking with you now and which animals are your life totems. So it really helps you to understand your journey and your path and know that you have guides that are assisting you. So 2 readings that I highly recommend for the month of June. Okay, so back to the opulence card. You know, there's a time to assert our authority and there's a time to rest on our laurels. This is a time to assert your authority. And I keep on thinking of, I mean, this is the branches of the tree growing and sprouting, not sprouting, but yeah, sprouting, growing and lifting and lengthening. But I also feel like this is reminding me of the stag, of the deer. It's definitely time for the masculine to learn how to be his own light, and others are going to follow him, and he's going to start triggering others the way you triggered him. And that's going to lead him to the same exact place that you are. It's going to lead him to a place of realizing she is not to blame or he is not to blame. But in actuality, what she did or he did is unearth my demons and unearth my darkness and shadows so that I could heal. And they're going to start to feel very grateful for your presence and for the magic that you've woven in their life. So things are going to start to be very different. Things are going to start to shift. And I do feel like the summer solstice in June is going to shift a lot of things forward for a lot of counterparts. So she does wear this crown that is definitely indicates that there is, you know, it's a golden crown of leadership, and she's not looking outside of herself anymore. That's a major theme that I'm seeing coming up over the past month for the counterparts. And she's in an exalted position, and she's not afraid to be there. So feminines are really balancing out their masculine energy. So moving over here to the Vertigo card, whatever you choose will be correct. It's kind of maddening, right? It's like, well, okay, great. But sometimes we want someone to tell us what to do, which way to go, what decision to make. There is no wrong decision on this path. There are many, many choices. It's kind of like the 7 of Cups energy. So there's a lot of possibilities, and there can be, for some of you, especially my Virgo babes, there can be some analysis paralysis. There can also be like this going back and forth and back and forth. But I do feel like you're stepping out of this energy, especially the masculines, and stepping into this arena of leadership where they're the leader of their own souls. They're the leader of their own lives. So you're also being reminded here with this. You see how this is like the most ornate key out of all of them? Doesn't mean it's going to open the biggest door, or it doesn't mean it's going to open the door with the most amazing and incredible, house inside of it. It's like things are deceiving on the surface. That's something that's coming through here as well. Things are very deceptive in the physical right now. Very deceptive. Just remember that, guys. All is not what it seems. Masculine, sacrifice. What? Excuse me. Wow. Throat chakra glitch. Wow. What can you let go of? What can you let go of? Feminine, epoch pause in your journey. Yeah, feminines in my private readings this weekend have been called to rest, they've been called back home to themselves. It's a temporary pause from a sacred place to reset yourself. There's a great reset happening for the feminine right now. Now, sacrifice. Let's go back to the masculine. He knows that he's had to make sacrifices. He understands that there will be sacrifices to be made to come into union with himself and with his counterpart. There are things he has to let go of in order to invite in what he truly desires. If you see here, her arm is underneath the surface and you can see the transparency, you can see the bone. There are things that are dead and things that are dying that need to be released from the masculine psyche, from the masculine's mind, from the masculine's heart. A lot of these masculines have beat themselves up for the way things transpired over the past few years with their situations. So if they were married, or if they had shared a business, like a family business, or if they had a parent that was overbearing. Many of them also experienced the death of a parent, or maybe even the death of a sibling, or a falling out with a sibling. In some way, these masculines felt responsible, and they were holding on to dead weight. I mean, that's how I see this. This arm is weighing her down. It needs to be buried. It needs to be released. And I mean, buried for good. So when the masculines come back, and when you hear me tell you, when the masculines come back, they're going to come back in a much stronger way. I mean that. They're coming back, and they're never looking back. So you have to understand that if they're taking their time, it's because they have things that they are still sorting out, still healing, still releasing in their own life. The masculine, it's like, it's not yet time for them to bloom. And we've been saying this for a while. They're still in the pressure cooker, if you will. They may go through another few dark nights of the soul. This may take them time, and they are quiet as they go through their process. They do not wish to be interrupted by external influences, and that includes us. There's an ego death here. There's a sacrifice of the ego, and there's a freedom that comes from letting the ego go. And there's this idea here. Wow, yeah, the masculine's not being allowed to talk right now. It's actually like something is getting stuck in my throat as I try to talk. The masculine is unable to speak at this time, even if they wanted to. Okay, so the masculine is connecting to his most primal self, his most natural self at this time, and in doing so, connecting to his most innate self. He's connecting to his truth. He didn't know what his truth was until he met you and he saw you living a life of authenticity and truth. And that's when he, like a light bulb went off, and he goes, "Oh, you mean I can live that? I can live that truth too. I can live my life too. Like I don't have to. No longer do I have to pretend or put on a mask or a facade." He's finding, I'm hearing kindred, like a kindred spirit in his own true nature, where he's not pushing it back anymore. He's allowing his true self to really, he's allowing his true self to resurface, or to surface maybe for the first time ever, and he's befriending it. He's getting to know himself on a very, very primal level. Over here, the feminine epoch, there's definitely like, look at this, the head has been cut off. It's kind of gruesome, right? But the feminine has felt like, and you can see there's like a split down the middle. The feminine has felt like she's been split in two different worlds, where the 3D has become very busy, very just, I can't think of a better word, just very active. And your spiritual growth may have taken a back seat. If you were to look at this, as a major arcana card, it would be the Tower. So the feminine's going through her own tower, the masculine's going through an ego death. So I'm not surprised to see them both moving through these energies. There's a transition period. There's a transformation. I saw this in every single one of my private readings I did this weekend, and I did about 10 of them. So there's a clearing out of the old to make room for the new. You see how the twins are mirroring each other really beautifully right now. You're actually working side by side very closely, even if you can't see it. There's a cataclysmic event going on in both of your lives. Okay? There's a blooming that's taking place. You can see, I mean, the flowers will bloom from this place, right? There's roots that have been planted for both of you, that are being planted, that will sprout when the time is right. There's definite purge going on. There's a definite death and rebirth that's happening for both of you. It's like this period of decay before the regeneration. This is a very scorpionic energy. Remember, I said that Scorpio full moon is so powerful and so potent that we're still feeling the energies. And this is also the energies of eclipse season, where we have to release something so that something new can take its place. So a lot of energies coming through here, guys, with death and rebirth, and very, very powerful, in fact. So if you do feel like you're being split in a million different directions, feminine, and you feel like you don't have the time to sit and meditate or practice your mindfulness or go to yoga or move your body or sing or create art, you're going to feel very unbalanced. Masculines are really just asked to rest at this time. That's all. They're asked to just rest and surrender. Okay? They're befriending their primal energy, primal state, and the feminine is asked to also surrender to this pause, surrender to the split that she's feeling. Trust that you are being reborn again in many ways. What will most serve your connection? What will most serve your connection? Balance. Bringing in balance. These events are happening to bring in balance into the connections, to establish the inner union of your soul, your shared soul, and to ensure that you are both traveling on a path that is going to most benefit and most uplift not only yourself and your life, but the people around you and others in the world. What is the biggest obstacle right now for the twins? What is the biggest obstacle right now for the counterparts? What is the biggest obstacle right now? I think there's a lack of faith. Yeah, it's like when pigs fly. It's a lack of faith in the romantic aspect of the connection, a lack of faith that union will occur, not trusting in the love that has been shared and communicated in the past, just because it's not being shared and communicated right now. It's funny, I kept on seeing this as I was shuffling. So the card of infinity, the card of your infinite dualistic nature, your connection to the divine and your connection to the 3D world and your connection to your gifts and bringing them down into the 3D world to create. Not trusting in your own gifts. That's why the masculine is going through what he's going through. And feminine, you're more aware and more in control of your gifts at this time, but new gifts are coming in that may sort of throw you off balance or off kilter. So you're both asked to bring yourself back into balance, and you're asked to trust in your abilities to create what it is that you desire, to bring forth and to call forth what you desire. The masculine energy is asked to embrace their more feminine qualities and aspects of their personality, really a releasing of the ego. Look, harmony, balance, gentleness. The masculine's asked to connect to a more gentle place inside of them that, again, perhaps they buried this energy, and they buried their gentleness because they were afraid of really revealing their true self. And they thought, well, if I reveal who I truly am and I'm vulnerable, then I will be taken advantage of. So I think they're realizing that the world maybe isn't such a dark, bad, evil place after all, especially with the presence of their feminine. I mean, how could the world be bad or evil when they've met their truth, in another's eyes? Feminine. Crawfish. Protection, perseverance, vulnerability, regeneration. Yeah, absolutely. There is a bit of protection, right? There's a bit of, the protective exterior here that the crawfish has, that the Scorpio has. We've been talking about Scorpio as well. But it's like also the opposite of protection, vulnerability. So allowing yourself to be vulnerable, trusting that crawfish can regenerate their limbs. So trusting that you can regenerate and that you will be able to come back from whatever is currently happening and transpiring in your life. And if there are losses, if there are things that have not worked out the way that you wanted them to, feminine, trust that you just continue to push through and persevere, and know that you're going to be able, and show yourself, show your cards, don't hide your cards, show your cards, because the world needs that right now. The world needs vulnerability. The world needs truth. We don't need more structure and logic and harshness. We need more truth. We need more people who are willing to stand up and speak up from their hearts. So I think you're both in this beautiful place of really gentleness and vulnerability. Really, really beautiful energies, guys. I'm going to stop there because I think that this is a pretty thorough reading, and I send you guys lots of light and love. I hope this was helpful and beneficial. Take great care. Please drop a like and please subscribe to the video. Don't forget to check out Premium Jane. I'll leave my link below the video so you can receive your 20% off of any product that you choose. I personally love the bath bombs, and I personally love the gummies. So just my 2 cents. Take great care, guys. I will talk to you soon. Be well.